A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope you are doing well. This is Sonia Verma, your SST teacher from Springfields Public School. Children, today we are going to start Civics, Chapter 4, that is State Government. So, before we start our chapter, children, you need to know that our country it is governed at three levels. First is local government, second is state government, and third is central government. So children, just like we have the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha at the center, we have the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad at the state level, which are basically their function is to make the laws. The other two functions of the state government are executive functions, that is implementing those decisions and laws, putting them into practice, and administrative functions, that is the different agencies and departments who are going to implement those laws. So first let us study about the state legislature. In the state legislature we have the Vidhan Sabha, which is also known as the lower house or legislative assembly. When members are elected by the people directly through elections, those members they are called MLAs or the member of legislative assembly. The head of the state government is the chief minister. So similarly we have another house in the state legislature, that is called the Vidhan Parishad or the upper house or the legislative council. The members of Vidhan Parishad they are known as MLCs or the member of legislative council. Next concept you need to know, children, is that not all the states they are having both the houses. Only 6 states in the whole country they are having two houses, and the remaining states, 22 states, they are having only one house. That is why their legislature is called unicameral legislature. It means having one house. States which are having two houses, the 6 states, they are said to have bicameral legislature. Here in this map, children, you can see the newly formed state of Telangana and the newly formed union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So in total we are having 28 states now and 8 union territories. Now let us come back to our topic, children. We are going to study about the Legislative Council. So in the Legislative Council, you can see that the members they are partly elected and partly nominated. So the people who elect them, the group of people who elect them are called the Electoral College. This Electoral College, it can consist of MLAs, local authorities, teachers, graduates, and the governor also suggests some names. He nominates a few members in the Legislative Council. So children, you can see that the MLAs they elect 1/3 of the Legislative Council. The local authorities they elect 1/3 of the Legislative Council. Then the teachers they elect 1/12 of the total of the Legislative Council. Graduates elect 1/12 of the members of the Legislative Council. The governor he nominates, he suggests 1/6 of the members of the Legislative Council. Now let us come to the Legislative Assembly, how they are elected, what is their composition. So the members of the Legislative Assembly are directly elected by the people. Elections are there the state is divided into constituencies. You can see here the state of Haryana has been divided into 90 constituencies. So when the elections are there, 90 MLAs go to the Legislative Assembly of Haryana. So you see children that different states, they have been given equal proportional representation to the population. It means the states which have a large population have a larger assembly. So the most populous state which is having the most population, Uttar Pradesh, has the largest legislative assembly. In this picture children, you can see I have made a comparison between the Vidhan Sabha and the Vidhan Parishad for your convenience, only for your understanding. So you can see the first point is the size. The size of the Vidhan Parishad cannot be more than 1/3 of the legislative assembly, and it also cannot be less than 40. While the size of Vidhan Sabha cannot be more than 500 members and it cannot be less than 60 members, except the cases of Goa, Mizoram and Sikkim, where the assemblies they have less than 60 members. So the second comparison, you can see that the Vidhan Parishad, it is indirectly elected by common people and it is also partly nominated, while the Vidhan Sabha, it is directly elected by people. All the members, all the MLAs, they are directly elected by people during the elections. Then the next point is that the Vidhan Parishad, it is led by a chairman and a deputy chairman, while a Vidhan Sabha, it is led by a speaker and deputy speaker. The Vidhan Parishad, it is chosen for a term of 6 years and 1/3 of the members retire after every 2 years, while the Vidhan Sabha, it has a term of 5 years. Next point is that the Vidhan Parishad, it is a permanent body. It cannot be dissolved. It will fulfill its term of 6 years. While the Vidhan Sabha, it can be dissolved by the governor before the completion of its term of 5 years, and that term can be extended also in a case of emergency as declared by the president. Next difference is in qualifications. To become a member of Vidhan Parishad, a person must be at least 30 years of age, while to become a member of Vidhan Sabha, a person should be at least 25 years of age. They should be members, voters of that state. Then to take part in the election on an SC or ST seat, scheduled caste or scheduled tribe seat, the person should be a member of that caste or tribe. So children, today we have studied about the state legislature. In our next class we are going to see how the bill, it goes on to become an act. It goes on to become a law. Then we are going to study state functionaries, that is going to include the governor, chief minister and the council of ministers. So that is all for today children. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.